We are 14 days into my CKM trial, and I'm not sure if it's worth it. On September 1st, I applied a CKM. It's a continuous ketone monitor, and it is from SciBio. This operates the same way that a continuous glucose monitor functions, except it measures ketones in your interstitial fluid instead of glucose in your interstitial fluid. It lasts for 14 days, so we have completely come full circle. It is all done. And I do have a video showing you how I applied this and sort of what my intentions were with my 2 CKMs. It's time for a new sensor, SciBio. My old one expired this morning, and it's been a few hours since that happened. So I've got a couple of hours of information that will be non-existent. So I am going to get my setup going here. First of all, let's pull open the app. Had to re-sign into my SciBio account. All right, so as you can see here, I have my sensor expired, so I need to replace. I'm gonna go ahead and select that button, and then I'm going to find my little code on the outside of my box. My camera should probably get cleaned. Try that again. Okay. I've tried about 6 times, and the little QR code that you're supposed to scan in order to pair the device to your app does not want to do its job. So I'm now going to try using the 8-digit pairing code on the box to see if that solves my issue. Let us see. It tells me you are trying to pair a CKM. Yes, I am. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. What happened to my lighting here? My last sensor that just expired was not this irritating to connect to the app. They did do an update on the app so that the graph showed a larger scale, or I guess, yeah, the scale is like bigger for your visual assistance. And I don't know if, no device detected. Oh my goodness, did I get a dud? I'm gonna try this again and see what happens. Well, my device is a dud. I cannot get it to pair to my app. I cannot get it to take note of anything. I have tried numerous things. I am going to be emailing SciBio to see what can be done about this because, it's a little bit irritating. This will be my 3rd sensor altogether, and right now we're sitting at a 66% success rate. So I'm following the directions on the quick start guide, and yeah, I don't know what I should be doing. They give you the quick start guide to follow. If I can get that to focus for a second. They give you the quick start guide. All of the things function well on my previous, installing the CKM video just 2 weeks ago. Everything worked out fine. So I don't know if it's a me thing or if it really is a dud sensor. But I'm gonna have to find out. So here we are. I guess this video is kind of fruitless. At some point, I'm going to stop playing around with this thing and recognize that I said it was a dud. I don't need to continue to scan the thing or plug in the actual code because it's not changing anything. Definition of insanity and all that jazz. Bless. If you haven't done so already, I would love to have you subscribe and stick around a while. As you now know, I do not have a CKM installed right now. I was really looking forward to having a full cycle, a full hormonal cycle set of data. That way I could just sort of have the baseline understanding of whenever I'm just going about my daily life, eating a keto friendly way, a diabetic friendly way, if you will, what does my body do with that input? And it is very frustrating to have my experimentation interrupted by something that is outside of my control. But we're going to keep moving forward. As to how this past 2 weeks have gone, I discovered that my ketones are very consistent, and they're consistently in lower numbers. They are generally around a 0.3. That's just kind of where they hang out on average. I got a highest reading of 1.2 and the lowest reading of 0. So that is sort of, the overall situation. I had 2 big spikes to the 1.2 and 1.1 area on the graph over 14 days. And I also figured out that the spikes or the peak amount of ketones in my system were right around the start of a cycle. So that's good information to have. And then they just kind of decrease as time progresses. It would be really awesome to know what my ketones look like once I hit ovulation and beyond, but that's not in the cards for today. When I began this trial, my main variable was going to be what day of my hormonal cycle I was in. I did not adjust how I ate. I would still have my regular pecans and pepper jack cheese and pepperoni snacks. I would still eat keto chow. I still had plenty of dairy. I still had perfect keto snacks as far as some of the perfect keto bars and the cereal. We do love the cereal here in this house. I will tell you that a continuous ketone monitor is absolutely unnecessary. There is no requirement for having a ketone monitor when following a keto-friendly way of life. It is a fun tool to use from time to time just to see what your body is doing. And I think my ultimate goal with trying to figure out how my ketones fluctuate throughout a full hormonal cycle was a valuable way to experience what my body is going through. But given the fact that I cannot continue on because of my defective second CKM, I'm a little miffed, if you will. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know that I'm going to carry on with trying out CKMs. I do find a CGM, continuous glucose monitor, to be very valuable for understanding how your body takes food in, takes stress, takes a lack of sleep or an abundance of sleep, takes the electrolytes, how your body manages those input so that you can, have output of energy or see how your brain functions and all that jazz. I know loads of people find that ketones and exogenous ketones give their brains a boost. I have not really taken note of enhanced cognitive function when my ketones are higher. The number one thing that I do experience when my ketones are present is the inflammation in my body is dramatically reduced. I tend to have higher inflammation when I have carbs, and it's present usually in my mandibles, like I've got, TMJ situation here, in my joints in general, and just the way my clothes fit. I just hold on to water, which is expected given the fact that carbs retain water, but also it's more than just a typical feeling of I'm a little bit bloated. No, it's not like that. It's more I feel like I cannot grab things as well. I cannot manage the tension in my jaw as well when I've got carbs in my system. So all in all, the CKM is a really cool piece of technology. I love that SciBio has done this, but they need to continue to work on the app specifically. The app is just really irritating to have to navigate. It's so basic, and you can never really pinpoint information that you actually want. I found that after they did the little update giving you a greater visual on the scale for the graph, it was glitchy. It would just kind of lag quite a bit. So I know that they're working on it, and technology is never going to be perfect. But at this point in time, I would save my money and not continue on with the CKMs until they've had some more opportunity to really workshop things and improve things. When I first did the CKM trial back in late April, early May, I tested out a whole plethora of things. And if you want to check that out, I'm gonna leave that right here for you.